Lightsworns are back. We have been waiting for so long for these cards to finally get some new support, and it is here right now. If you still need a beautiful playmat, you can go to zerodamagegaming.com and use the code SOLEM for a discount. So right here, let justice descend with brand new Lightsworn. So this is from the new Legacy of Destruction pack, which is coming after Phantom Nightmare. And of course, Legacy of Destruction kind of says Light of Destruction, which was a set where Lightsworn was introduced many years ago. So right here we have Dragoon of Lightroad, Dragon of Lightsworn. I actually played Lightsworn back in the day, not fully, it was way too expensive. I had like one Judgment Dragon. Level 4 Light Dragon effect. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you have a Lightsworn monster in your graveyard, you can special summon it from hand. If it's specialed, you can send a Lightsworn card from deck to the graveyard except for itself. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add one Dragon monster with 3000 attack and 2600 defense from your deck to your hand. So I'm pretty sure the only targets this has is like Judgment Dragon and Punishment Dragon, but we might have to double check, you know. This is like really good. The only question is, does Lightsworn get starters and does Lightsworn get payoff? Starters as in like, yeah, you can activate Charge and normal summon Raiden. There's no confirmed one card combos. They don't have a Rhino Heart like Tearlaments had with Kid Kalos. So the question is going to be, do we get that? And finally, what are you actually putting on the end board? Again, comparing to Tearlaments, I know it's kind of unfair, but they're similar-ish decks with the whole mill style. You knew your end board was going to have a Perla Rhino, with a Sulik, with a Kaleido Heart, maybe a Rule Kalos, and so forth. Lightsworn doesn't really have end board pieces like that just yet, and that's really what we're needing, because the things in between it kind of already has. It has Wolf, it has Felice, it has Minerva, it has a bunch of really good stuff in between, but you kind of need a beginning and an end that I sometimes lack in this deck, because yes, I do love this deck, of course, but this does seem really good. This is one of those in the middle cards again, but it's closer to the start than the other in the middle cards. Next, we have Lightroad Demon Y, so White's Lightsworn Archfiend, okay, level 4. Again, I'm happy to see level 4 because Lightsworn does work with rank 4 Minerva, and then you might want to do like Synchro 8 plays and so forth. So Tuner actually right here, which is really solid. So Raiden, Dis, and Felice are gonna be our level 4 tuners. This says you can place one other Lightsworn card from your hand on the top of your deck, special summon this card from your hand, then mill 2. So if you are bricking on some of your Lightsworn cards, which can happen, you know, you play Wolf, you play Felice, now you can get them out of your hand and then mill them on purpose. That is really good. The only issue with it, of course, is that it's not a one card starter. Like, this by itself is never gonna do anything, which is like quite a typical issue for decks like these, because that means you can't fit a lot of non-engine. But overall, okay, this is good. But again, kind of in the middle there. If this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, you can target one Lightsworn monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Anything. This is really solid. But again, a little more in the middle, because you need to already have stuff in your grave for this to work, and you need to already have a Lightsworn card in your hand for this to work. But these are like really solid extenders. Next, we have Enlightenment Dragon. So this is like a golden version of Judgment Dragon. I dig it. It says materials is Judgment Dragon and Punishment Dragon. Okay, so they're morphing Lightsworn and Twilightsworn kind of. Must be special summoned by banishing the above cards from your field and graveyard, one from each. That's annoying. Because like getting out a Judgment Dragon or a Punishment Dragon is annoying already. And technically, they're only really good to summon when you are like going second and wiping boards and stuff like that. Like, you don't really want to summon a Judgment Dragon going first. You'll be able to because of the new little dragon thing we got, like a mini dragon ruler for JD. I dig that, but I don't know, what's the payoff? Once per turn quick effect, you can pay 2000 life points, banish all other cards on the field and in the graveyards? That includes your own grave. That hurts. This only has 3000 attack, so it's not even like going for lethal afterwards. Ooh, not a big fan of this one so far. Then once per turn during the end phase, send the top 4 cards of your deck to the graveyard, you know, typical Judgment Dragon style stuff. And then if this card is destroyed by your opponent, add one of your banished Judgment and Punishment Dragon to your hand, then you can special summon both, ignoring their summoning conditions. Okay, this is cute, but why would your opponent destroy it? I don't know. I was feeling the previous 2 cards. This one feels more like, wow, you know, like cool boss monster that you might play if you play these 2, but you really don't want to. I don't know. I don't know about this one just yet. And then we have the card that we were really waiting for, I think at least, and that is Athena Minurva. So this is like the new Minerva. Now, of course, I doubt she'll be as good as the Xyz Minerva. Xyz Minerva is crazy. Level 8 Light Fairy Synchro. So this goes really well together with the other support we saw so far, where we are seeing level 4 tuners and level 4 extenders. We already have Raiden, we have Wolf, we have Felice. So we have a lot of like level 4 spam where half half of them are tuners and half of them aren't, meaning we are going to be able to make this and Minerva pretty reliably. So I'm digging that. So what does this do? If this card is synchro summoned, send Lightsworn monsters with different types from your deck to the graveyard up to the number of Lightsworn monsters used as material for this card summon. So that means, is Feliz and Wolf the same typing? I forgot. But like, you can mill those if they are different types, special summon them, and then overlay for Minerva instantly. That is solid. And even if they are the same types, again, I don't really remember, I'm sure you can send some of these other cool things that we saw earlier and get to a Minerva that way. So that is solid. You know, any way to get to this also gets you to Minerva then. But once again, this is kind of like that support that's in the middle, you know? It's not really starting by itself, and it's not really ending by itself, because putting an Athena on your end board, whatever. Putting a Minerva on your end board, whatever. They're really good to get to something, but I don't know yet what, you know? Then we have Lightsworn monsters you control cannot be banished by card effect. I'm guessing fuck SP. That's cute. This is also so that you don't banish your own shit with the big fusion dragon from earlier. So I'm guessing if you can put like this, plus something else, plus the punishment dragon on your board, and the punishment dragon wipes the board, then you have, you know, a clean OTK, which is cute, I guess. But I think with all the summoning that we have right here, you can also just go for an access code line. So I'm not so sure that we would play the big dragon to OTK with this when we can already OTK pretty well. Now finally, you can banish up to 4 Lightsworn monsters from your graveyard, send that many cards from the top of your deck to your graveyard. That is pretty solid, because this kind of bridges the Lightsworn stuff into potentially other mill strategies, at least, you know? Like, if you use your Lightsworn cards to get into other stuff, and then you get into this, you get into Minerva, you activate this card, banish 4, now you get to just mill 4 generically. So that means that if Lightsworn doesn't really get payoff, maybe there's a, and I'm coping, I'm aware I'm coping, maybe there's a world where, you know, splash a little Tearlament in there to get some of that mill payoff, so you have some type of board to build. I'm not sure yet, of course. I am coping, but I would just love to play Lightsworn in some capacity, and I'm just looking for, you know, what is going to be the most viable way to do that. But this is a cool effect, you know, we're just going to have to see what kind of payoff we can play for it. Maybe it's a Twilight Sword angle. Maybe it's like some darks, a Chaos Levianeer, all of that kind of stuff. I don't know. And then the final card, and this might actually be the payoff we're kind of looking for, you have a Light Road Aegis, so Lightsworn Aegis. That's a trap card. Target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Lightsworn monsters you control, negate their effects until the end of this turn. With these types of cards, usually it's going to be just one, you know? Like, if your opponent summons something, they're going to use that effect pretty quickly, and they're going to summon something else, and they're going to use that effect pretty quickly. It is very unlikely that you activate something like this and that you're going to negate 2 or 3 cards and go, wow, I negated so much. You know, it's always like push after push after push, one by one. So this feels more like an impermanence than anything else. However, the second effect is if this card is sent from the deck to the graveyard, you can set it. It is, however, once per turn. Honestly, I think this card should have just not been hard once per turn. Let us mill 3 of this and set all of them. Because they are very much always going to work like an imperm. It is very unlikely that it's going to do multiple negates at once. But I do dig it, because this is some of that payoff that we're looking for. Again, like I was saying, we want to be able to mill a bunch, and we're going to be able to mill a bunch, probably. But what are we actually building with those mills? And I think this is something. You know, this is at least something. Is it as good as Tearlament Sulik? No, I'm afraid not. But it is something. You know, we will definitely, if we play all of this new support, we will definitely implement this. You know, try to get it milled, get ourselves a free negate that way. If you mill this with Minerva, do you also get your draw? I don't remember if Minerva says card or monster. I would have to double check. Again, I'm just seeing it now. But overall, okay, this is a cool card. I do like this. This is gonna probably be like a 2-off in the deck or something like that. Try to get it milled. Think she says monster. Yeah, she says monster. That's kind of annoying. Did any of the cards say card? This that says card. Archfiend said card. And then this... Oh, okay. The little dragon says card. We play 3 of this. Maybe we only play 1 of the trap, because we always will have access to it. Okay, that is an option. Again, just live thinking out of the box here. I like this. Again, I'm hoping for more. I don't know if Lightsworn will get more, but I think if we want to get something major out of this, you know, we need some end board pieces. Maybe we have enough starters if we don't run that much non-engine. Maybe this is one of those combo style decks where in 40 cards you have like 3 to 6 type of room for non-engine. It's possible, but we need something to put on that end board, you know? Maybe they bring back Curious. Hopium, copium, I don't know. So that is all for today. Hope you found this interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you love Lightsworn? Do you already see any cool combos, any type of little ideas? I would love to experiment, and I will see you soon. Ciao.